All right, welcome back. We are going to be looking at this roof tile with lattice, 1 by 2 by 2/3. This one we're going to work on today. We're going to start with our roof tile that we did before this one because essentially it's very similar, but we're just going to extend this to be a 1 by 2 instead of a 1 by 1. And then we're going to add some detail to it that this one has, that this one does not have, but it's going to be similar in that flow. So let's get after it. So here's our 1 by 1 that we've already made, and we just want to extend this kind of in our initial sketch. So we're going to go back to our initial sketch, which was here, and we're going to make this a Lego base ×2. I hope this is on the right side, but if it's not, we'll figure that out. And it wasn't. So you can see that it went the wrong way, so we're going to go back to that sketch. And this one's going to go back to Lego base. And this one is going to be Lego base ×2. We'll finish the sketch there. There we go. Now again, our hole is all messed up on the bottom, but that's okay. We'll get to that here in just a second. So now let's look at the underside. So we don't have a single circle now. We have two circles that we've got to take into account, and we've got some issues where this is at. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this line, and then we can move this as we go. And then we're going to, let's go ahead and put in some construction lines. So U and X will go right in the middle. That one and here. And then we're going to anchor this to that line, and we'll make another construction circle right about here. We'll make them equal to each other, and we'll separate them by Lego base, and then we'll make them symmetrical about the midline. There we go. And now let's finish up our tangent constraints with our construction lines. So tangent constraints, orange line with this, and orange line with this. And there we have it. So there's our new underside. It now gets cut up. The only difference now is that it doesn't get cut up to where we think it is. This one's going to be different because in the model, let me see if I can minimize this. If you were to flip it over, it actually comes up on the underside here. So it's angled. It's not just straight, like flat. So we want it to cut up like this, so that when we start drawing on the top and we're removing material from the top, it's all the same thickness. Each of those little vent grates are the same. So instead of doing an upcut here for a distance, we're going to wait on that cut until we've done all the side piece stuff. So I'm actually going to delete this, or actually I might just move it. I wonder if it'll let me. Oh, it's because that chamfer is in the way. So let's see if we can move that chamfer to the end. Great. Let's see if we can move this upcut before the chamfer, and then move this sketch down here. So all I did is I just rearranged the order that's going to happen, so that then I can do this upcut, and now I have this geometry here. So I can now say, instead of distance, I'm going to go to object. I'm going to go up to here, but then I'm going to do an offset of, it's 0.185, which is the wall thickness of this. So 0.185 divided by scale is 0.061. Okay, so that sounds about right, the 0.061 part. So really this is going to be 0.061 times scale. And I've got to do a negative sign so that it goes below that. And that's going to leave that much material underneath when I do that. Now, is that going to run? Is that going to be enough here? That's kind of my next question. Is I need to look and see what the depth of that is. I'm going to go back without this chamfer, and I want to measure this, because if this is not tall enough, okay, that's good. We needed at least 90 thousandths. 90 thousandths because the stud's got to fit underneath there. So it's 142 thousandths, so that's good. So no, we don't have to make any adjustments to that. So that looks pretty solid at this point. It does have this raised kind of top to it, which is interesting. We can just kind of guesstimate that, I think. I'm just going to ballpark it by going, I am going to get rid of these. Let me get rid of this stuff first. I'm going to move this to the end, and I'm going to back up before I do those things. So I'm just moving my timeline so I don't have my fillets or chamfers on there yet. And because I want to do all the hard stuff first, and then I'll do those at the end. So I'm going to bring this in and just going to measure with my caliper. This doesn't have to be, super precise. It's really just kind of a guess on what this dimension is. It's like maybe 20 thousandths on this. So we're going to go negative 0.02 times scale. And then we're going to actually raise this up. So we're going to finish this, and we're going to extrude this up just a little bit. I mean, like 10 thou. Okay. And then we're going to basically chamfer all this edge, that same 10 thou. So when we go in and add our chamfer on all this stuff, we're just going to hold down Control and select this face. And actually, we're going to do, I take that back. We're going to chamfer that significantly more. We want that to basically be gone. So that when we do this, it's going to be 0.01 times scale. So it basically makes it, see how it does that? It's going to do that kind of look to it. All right, that looks good. And then it looks like we have 4 windows in this space that we have to cut out at that angle downward. So we're just going to create probably an offset here of this. I'm going to make it a construction line. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room on the outside. Now I could, actually I'm probably going to just measure this because that's 185. Yeah, let's just measure it. So we're going to do we'll do this, and then we'll do a line so that we know our midline here, and we know our midline here. And then we'll say this is 185 thousandths times scale, which is really close to what we had. And then we're going to make them symmetrical across that. And then our overall distance, let's figure out what that is 448 thousandths. So this right here is 0.448 times scale. That doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's got quite a bit of hang on. It's got quite a bit of room on the bottom and the top. I'm going to check that measurement one more time. Yeah, 450. 50 thousandths. So we're just gonna 450. Okay. And then we want to create basically 4 rectangles that are the same that line up with that. So we're going to use our rectangle tool, hit X, so we're no longer doing construction lines, and we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to use the equal constraint to say that this. If any of you have an idea, how do you select like the interior ones? I would love to know. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I'll just kind of hovering along. I might have to look that up, see if there's a way to grab other lines. Because I don't want that line. I want the line from the rectangle. Give me the line I want. Oh man. See, it's not letting me get it. So, all right, if you're going to be stubborn, we're just going to say here's a dimension. And then let's measure that one. So here it is. And I'm getting 61 thousandths, 62 thousandths, 0.62 times scale. Okay, so then we're going to say this dimension from here to here is the same. The dimension from here to here is the same. And the dimension from here to here is the same. And now how do we line them up? Well, we could draw some lines between these. So you could do something like this, which is kind of a hack. So we're going to go from here to here, and we're going to go from here to here, and we're going to go from here to here. And all you do is you make these equal to each other. Say this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, and now it spaces them all out evenly. But why is this not? So we want this to be coincident with that. And there we go. There's all of our windows that are there. You can make these, if you don't like these, you can make these construction lines. Again, these are perpendicular. That's all they need to be. They don't have to be anything particular. And then these need to be extruded actually straight down, which, because when I extrude these, if I do it like this and extrude cut them like this, it doesn't cut the way I want them to cut. They need to be extruded like down, almost like you put the sketches on the plane above it and then cut down through the part. So I might actually have to do that, which is probably what I'm going to have to do. So that was kind of all for naught. But we live, we learn, we move on, and let's redo. So I'm going to get rid of the sketch. I'm going to create an offset work plane from the base, and I'm just going to bring it above it. And then I'm going to create a sketch on this. Now I can project this geometry. And now I'm going to basically do the exact same thing I just did. So I'm going to create some lines. Now, I probably could have made this work plane and then redefined the sketch's work plane, but it's okay. I'm all for redoing stuff if it makes us better and faster as we get, more experience. So everything we do, even if you have to do things multiple times, it really just makes you that much better because you're going to find a more efficient way to do it. You're going to see things that you didn't see before. When you're doing this, it's just 4 or 5. You might even remember some things that you had done earlier, which is really kind of nice. And then I'm going to again do a symmetrical here to here. This. I'm going to use a rectangle tool. Make my 4 rectangles. 1, 2, 3. 4 cutouts. Say that they're equal. I don't like that. I don't know why it doesn't grab that. So we'll just do from here to here. Oh, I forget what I said this was. It's okay. We're just going back. We're just doing it. 061. No scale. And from here to here. The same. Here. And then we're going to draw those little lines here to here. To here. And we're going to make those 3 equal to each other. That will evenly space those 4 slots. Now, if I extrude these all the way through, now it gives me the angles that I want. So this kind of slices. Is that what those do? I think so. Looks pretty good. Now, do they chamfer, cut these off a little bit? Let's see what happens when we do this. Chamfer this edge. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, for sure that's what they're doing. So we're going to do 0.4 times scale. Maybe not 0.4, 0.04. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good. Nice. I think that's the part we wanted. All right, let's see what these do. So the chamfer goes on the bottom, and then we put the rounds on the corners, and this looks really good. That's a tough piece right there. So this is not a roof tile piece anymore. We're going to do a save as at this point, and this is going to be called roof tile with lattice. So roof tile 1x2 with lattice. There we have it. So there's that piece done. Again, thanks for watching, but I want you to stop watching and start making. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you next time.